All right. So thank you guys for joining me this morning for Take Command 01. This is going to be all about the basics, like I said, with getting you started in Command. So that way you can start to build on everything you do today as you start to look further into using Command and how you can best leverage it for your business. So to get started, I recommend going to agent.kw.com. It's going to be the simple URL to log into Command. You can also go through mykw.kw.com. And this will take you to the login. It's going to be the same login information for Command as the MyKW site, as well as the Kelly app. So log into your information here, click sign in. And this is Command. And I imagine that by now, you guys have probably at least clicked around in Command a little bit. So what I want to do this morning is just kind of give you a quick overlay of what everything is in Command. So that way you know what it is you're clicking on. So what I'll do is I'll start up here in the top left-hand corner, and I'll work our way to the right, going through all those different icons. And then we'll kind of start to work our way down the left-hand side. So up here in the top right-hand corner, we have this red KW button. If you click on it, it helps expand the menu button on the left-hand side so you can read what all of the different applets are. And then you can click it, and it'll minimize there. To the right of that is Command, and this Command is going to be what you spend probably 95% of your time in. It's going to be your CRM, your designs capabilities, where you run paid advertisements, where you set up the drip campaigns. That's all going to go through Command. To the right of that is Connect, and Connect is really meant to be more of that social platform for agents within Keller Williams. To be honest, Labs has kind of paused on building out Connect while Command everything gets finalized and working properly in Command. So in the future, the plan is for Connect to replace, KWFA Mission Control on Facebook. So that way everyone can connect here. They can share open houses, ask questions, ask for recommendations, and you can join different groups. So you can see you should automatically be a part of the Atlanta Sandy Springs group as well as the Southeast. There's a lot of different groups within Keller Williams. So if you're part of the Live Luxury group or any other organizations within the company, you guys can connect here, share different information as well. Then on the right-hand side, you'll see Welcome to the New Connect, and then kwconnect.com. So this is where you will go to find all of the great live streams that Labs is doing and KWRI have been holding over the last couple months. With COVID, they've really focused on providing a lot of streaming content. So if you ever want to see any of that, you can click on this, KW Connect, and it will open up this new web browser, and it'll have all of the content here. It has a quick, loads. It'll show, what is scheduled for today. So designs, drag, drop, delight. And if you scroll down, here is the calendar for the week of the classes that will be taught through KW Connect. And then scrolling down more, you have all the on-demand classes of the previous classes they've taught and live streams they've done. So all this content is available to you and a bunch of different resources. You do need to go through Connect from Command to get here. The old Connect website that you can go to from mykw.kw.com doesn't work or doesn't get you to the same place. So this is just another hub for tons of information that you can check out while you are getting up to speed on everything. So clicking back into Command, this is, Connect. To the right of my Connect, I have Command MC, and that's because I'm a part of the office staff. You won't have that, but that is Command Market Center. So that lets me have access to some back-end applications. So going back into Command, scrolling over to the right, if you were on a team, right here on the top toolbar, you'll have a drop-down menu, and you'll have that team name there. And what that means is when you're on a team is you can switch, you can toggle between your own command as well as the team's command. You'll have different permissions based on the way that your team lead or Rainmaker has set up command on what you can do. It'll really have more of an effect on your opportunities as well as your contacts. If you have any questions about setting up Command for Teams or how to use Command for Teams, let me know and we can set up some one-on-one time. To the right of the drop down here is the KW Marketplace. And if you roll your mouse over the icon, it'll say Marketplace. KW Marketplace is where you can go, and I'll talk through a little bit more in just a few minutes. You can go here to download a bunch of connected apps. So knowing that agents have been using a lot of different tools and apps to help run their business, Command wants to be that hub for all of them. So if you have a CRM or a drip campaign platform that you really love, you want to take advantage of Command as a central hub and to run your opportunities through, you can connect most of those apps so they all sync into Command. This is where you go to find those apps so that way you can leverage them for your business. Back in Command, to the right of the Marketplace, you'll notice a bell, and this is going to be your notification center. So anytime that you have a new notification, whether it be a compliance review, a new lead, your contacts have been uploaded, your contacts have been downloaded, any of those messages will show up here, and you'll know that you have a new message because there's a red dot on the bell. So you can click on the dot, and then here it'll show you your message. And for me, it shows that my listing compliance event has been approved. So that lets me know that what I submitted for compliance review is good to go. And I can click dismiss, and the red bell will go away. I'll click dismiss all caught up, and now I don't have a red bell or a red dot on my bell to let me know that there is anything there. To the right of that, you'll see your name, and if you've uploaded a picture, it'll have your picture, and where your name is, there's a drop-down menu, and here you can click on Profile, Settings, Command Training, and Log Out. So I'm going to go through all these really quickly, and then we'll spend a little bit more time in each of them. So the first one is Profile. This is really going to take all the information from your marketing profile that we're going to set up in just a few minutes. Next is Settings, and we're going to spend a lot more time in here because there are a lot of settings in Command, and they're important because it helps how all the different applets communicate and share information between each other. So how opportunities leverages contacts, as well as designs, leverages consumer, and all of that. The next is Command Training. There is a ton of content in Command. This system was built by agents for agents. Labs over the last couple of years have really focused on building those relationships and having conversations with agents to understand what products, what services, what are the needs that agents have, and how can Keller Williams build that platform to support all of those needs. So there's a lot here. You're probably going to need training. I do trainings every Tuesday, Thursday, but sometimes you may have a question or want to know something a little bit more detailed. I'm always here to help, but if it is, 10, 11 o'clock at night, you could always check out Command Training. So come to this drop-down menu and click on Command Training, and it's going to take you to KW Connect, and it'll give you all these options. What are you looking for? I'm ready to use Command, what to do, Command Login. You can scroll down. There's just a ton of information here. So Command Applications, training videos, how-to videos, get started, hire a guide, learn on my own. So there's just a ton of information here. So always feel free to check out the Command Training. And then below that is going to be Log Out, which is pretty self-explanatory. To the right of your name in the drop-down menu is a question mark. And this is a question mark within a circle. And this is really important. So I'm going to spend a couple minutes on this. When you click on this question mark, this menu is going to appear on the right-hand side with 3 options: Keller Williams University, Chat with Support, and Post an Idea. I'm going to walk through each one of them because they all provide a great benefit to you as an agent. The first is Keller Williams University. So I just kind of walked you through Command Training, but even more simple than going to Command Training is Keller Williams University. It is a part of Command Training, a lot of overlap in information, but Keller Williams University is step-by-step guide tutorials on how to use all the different applets of Command within Command. So you don't ever actually have to leave the platform. So let's say, again, it's 10, 11 o'clock at night, you're trying to figure something out. You can click on that question mark in the top right-hand corner and come to Keller Williams University. Click on that. It's going to show a bunch of the most popular and most commonly read articles. But let's say I have a question about email newsletters. I can click on this and it says send a newsletter email campaign. I can click on this, and within this menu, it's going to show me all of the information about how to set up an email campaign. Step by step, log into Command, click on the icon, scroll down, and it has pictures. So that way it will show you as well as tell you step by step what you need to do to set up that email campaign. And that's all right here in Command. So you never have to leave the platform. Now, if you wanted to, you could, up here in the top right-hand corner, there's a little icon with a little out arrow, so you can click on that. And that will take you to KW Answers. And this is going to be the same information, but just in a separate browser window. So if you wanted to have two browser windows open, you could have one for Command and then pull your article up in another window, and you can go step by step on how to create a newsletter. You can see same information. You could also search here. So let's say I just want to search for opportunities. And this is going to pull up all of 116 results for opportunities. So search all opportunities, manage opportunities. So you can see so much information within Keller Williams University. So that's always going to be here and be on-demand information. I'm always here to help. But sometimes just a quick search can help you find the information you need so you can move on to your next project or your contract or your appointment. So once you're done with KW University, you can click the X in the top right-hand corner, or you can click back to that main menu. You can search again. I'm going to click back because I want to go to the main help and information menu. Below Keller Williams University is chat with support. There are going to be times when you use Command, it's inevitable, it happens to all of us, where something just doesn't work right, you can't figure it out, you keep getting an error message. There's nothing that you can do. You'll call me, we'll try to troubleshoot it, and sometimes I'm not going to be able to help. I'm going to recommend submit a support ticket. When I say submit a support ticket, this is exactly what I mean. Coming to Command, clicking on that question mark in the top right-hand corner, and click Chat with Support. When you click Chat with Support, this menu is going to pop up in the bottom right-hand corner, a little chat box. It's going to show 3 initial responses, some of the most commonly asked questions. If these potentially answer your questions, click on them. If not, click Get in Touch. And then it's going to give you 2 automated message options to live chat and leave a message. If you have time, you can live chat with a real life labs employee in Austin, but I would recommend, just because your time is valuable and I know that you have showings to get to, appointments to set, contracts to write, negotiate, I would recommend just clicking on leave a message. And this is how you're going to submit a support ticket. So click leave a message, and then you just fill in all the information to contact labs. Now, most of the information or most of the fields are required. So if you scroll down, fill in the subject, who's the person reporting the issue, region name, topic, description. Now, if you were able to take a screenshot or a Loom video, for instance, of the error, please do so. It does make a big difference for labs to be able to actually see what message you're receiving, or seeing the steps that you are going through and receiving that message. If you are unable to attach a video or a screenshot, there's going to be, you won't put one in, but then you may get an error message saying that it's a required field. Anytime that you have a required field, just put a 0 in there or NA, and that way it'll let you submit. So what's great is when you submit a support ticket, it actually will create an email thread for you. So you'll get an email notification to your the email account you have set up and affiliated with Command. And then you'll communicate back and forth via email. So you'll have a history of the correspondence, and you can email directly back and say, hey, I tried this didn't work, and you can go back and forth. It'll save you a lot of time versus chatting live with support. So just be mindful that up here in the top right-hand corner, click on this, chat with support. It's going to be one of your, hopefully not used too often, but one of your best resources when you do encounter issues that you're unable to troubleshoot. And the last one here is post an idea. So as I mentioned earlier, Command is built for agents, by agents. It's everything that you see in Command has come at the recommendation and feedback of KW agents, of the systems and tools that will improve their business, with the expectation that it will be leveraged to improve our business. However, sometimes things are missing. Sometimes there are ways that we can improve it. Sometimes you may have a different background or a tech background or a customer service background, and you could see, hey, there's a really big opportunity that if we added this component, or we adjusted this applet, or we added this information field, it could really improve the efficiency of our business and the client support we're able to provide. Well, if you have that idea, click on post an idea right here, and you can type in your idea, and you can submit a screenshot if you have an example or anything you'd want to share. When you post an idea, that will get posted for every agent within Keller Williams to go and look and review, and then your idea can get voted up. And then as the ideas get voted up, labs will take more notice of them and are more likely to then make that integration or that update. You can also search other ideas. So if you see something as you're reading through that, you're like, oh, that would be a really great idea. I would love that for my business. You can vote on it, and then labs will know, hey, we should really consider adding this because it's getting a lot of traction and attention from our agents. So all that is up here in the top right-hand corner in the question mark. Always check out this part of Command because it's going to be a ton of resources for you as an agent. So now that we talked through the menu bar at the top, I'm going to kind of work our way through the home screen just so we can kind of talk through what everything is and how it's laid out. Before we get started on this, I do want to clarify, you can reorganize your home screen to look any which way you want. This is just what works well for me now. And we'll walk through how you can reorganize it in just a moment. So first, up here, I have my tasks. I like to have this front and center when I log into Command, so I know exactly what I need to do for the day. As we go through this training today, and then also with Take Command 03, we're going to talk about how to create tasks or how to automate tasks. So in that way, when you log in every morning, Command will tell you, hey, Nick, today, you need to work on your buyer presentation and prepare that CMA for your listing presentation. Those are the two things I need to do today. And if I have a client in my sales funnel within opportunities, it'll say, hey, you have this client who's currently under contract. You need to remind the buyer to schedule their home inspection, or make sure their appraisal is ordered, or any type of information like that that will help me take the guesswork out of what I have to do today. That can be set up in tasks. So I have contact tasks, which are going to be tasks for individual contacts. So if I have a conversation, I need to follow up or prepare for a meeting, I can set that task here. So I can be reminded to do that activity. We also have opportunity tasks, which is what I was just mentioning, that let's say if I have someone in my sales funnel, it'll automatically let me know what activities I need to do for that client based on where they are in that sales funnel. And I can come here, and if I complete it, I can click on it, and I can complete task, and I can do all that from the home screen. I can click here on the opportunity. It'll take me directly into that opportunity. So you can see how tasks on the home screen really help streamline your activity of what you'll need to do. To the right of tasks, I have recent leads. So if you have, let's say you have an open house and you get a couple contacts, you can add those in as leads manually, and they'll show up here. If you have a lead generating campaign, those new leads will show up here as well. And the benefit of having them here is so hey, these are new leads that I really need to focus on. I need to make sure that I'm setting them up on that 8x8. I'm making those phone calls, those text messages, those emails, because I really need to get these leads further down in the sales funnel so I can get those closings. Scrolling down, we have goals versus actual. As agents, we are all business owners. We each own our own small business. So it's really, really important that we understand how our business is performing and how we are tracking towards achieving our business goals for the year. If you haven't set up your 2020 goals yet, I highly recommend that you do so. But also start to think about what your goals are for 2021. How do you want to build off of your success for 2020? What gaps did you have in 2020? What do you need to make an improvement? And what are your stretch goals for next year? I'll talk through how to set up your goals in TCO2, but having your goals right here on the home screen is just, again, another quick way that when you log into Command, I can say, okay, I'm only at 21% of my GCI goal for the year, but we're more than halfway through the year. Excuse me. But we're more than halfway through the year. I need to double up and really put my head down and get to work. I need to start building my leads. I need to get a ton of leads so I can get those appointments, contracts, and closed units. To the right of goals versus actuals, we have product updates. So Command is always being optimized. Improvements are being made all the time based on feedback from the agents, like me, like you, and anything that they're able to improve the speed or efficiency of an applet. This is going to let you know right here of what's going on. So what's new? What are the updates for this past week? Then we can click on what's next. So that way we just know, hey, kind of what's in the pipeline for what to expect from product updates. That way, if you ever have any questions or you're curious about what's going on, or if you want to see if maybe one of your ideas is going to be executed, you can check here for product updates. Then below that is design updates. One of the coolest features, in my opinion, about Command is designs. So you can build professional level marketing materials right here within Command, and you have copyright usage of all those materials. So it's just a great way that you can show off yourself as an agent and really let your clients know that you are a professional realtor and that you have the materials to back that up. You can build listing presentations, buyer presentations, luxury postcards, social media posts, social media videos, all that right here in designs. So this little app, this widget on the home screen will let you know what's new in designs. And they're constantly putting out new designs, especially ones that are for the holidays or any specific seasonality or time of year. So that way you can provide some seasonally relevant content for your consumers. And then scrolling down, we have database health comparison. At the core of every agent's business is a healthy, strong database. It is very important that your database has all the information for your contacts. It is organized, it's clean, so that way you can best leverage that to keep those touches, those 36 touches with your database, as well as manage transactions. So here, it just gives me a quick overview of how my database looks in comparison to other agents within the First Atlanta office. So I can see for phone numbers, only 19% of my contacts have phone numbers, but 61%, or sorry, agents in our office have an average of 61% of their contacts have phone numbers. Same thing for emails here. Most of the agents have, 79% of them have emails, addresses, neighborhoods. So it just lets me know, okay, I need to start getting phone numbers. I need to get more email addresses. It lets me know some of the activities I need to do to build out that healthy database. I can also compare to agents in my state, all agents, and then one thing I think is really cool is agents in production bracket above mine. So I would say most agents every year they want to build on their business and they want to do a little bit better. They want to close a little bit more volume, more units. Maybe their goal is to get into the live luxury division. So if I look at the agents in production bracket above mine, I can see the numbers aren't too crazy different from the office, but 61% of contacts within their databases have phone numbers, and 80% have email addresses. Well, I know I need to work on getting those pieces of information. So I know, hey, those can be some touches, some activities for me. So I can reach out to the people that I have that don't have phone numbers, and I can send them a Facebook message, an Instagram message, or whatever, and say, hey, I'm updating my database. I notice I don't have your phone number. Would you mind sharing your most up-to-date, contact number? Perfect. And there you go. And then you can have a conversation with them. Same thing with email addresses. Now looking over here, I can see I have a lot more addresses than most of the agents in production above mine. Maybe I've spent too much time getting addresses and I need to focus more on those phone numbers and email addresses so I can start to make those phone calls, send those emails to build that one-on-one relationship, because at the core, real estate is a relationship business. So it's just a great way that you can kind of see how your database is performing and comparing to other agents. To the right is the playbook, and the playbook is just going to be where you can quickly see the most recent live streams from Connect. So you can scroll through here and see some of the interesting videos. Sarah Reynolds, I recommend if you have some time to check this out. Sarah Reynolds is actually partnered with Lindy Moore in our office, and she is a mega agent with expansion teams all over the country. So check that out. You can just scroll through all the different videos here. So I still have a quick question. Perfect. So scrolling down, the last item is Notepad. So this is really just going to be some quick notes if you need to jot something down. This is only for you. It's not going to be shared with any clients. It's not going to be shared with anyone in the MCA office or Lynn or Lita. So if you just logged in and you're like, oh, I need to stop by Home Depot today, or remember to order my closing gift for such and such client, you can post that note here. Now, going through all the different widgets, we can customize it, because what works well for me may not work well for you. So up here in the top right-hand corner, there's a blue button that says Customize Home. Click on that, and this window is going to pop up, and it's going to, over here on the left-hand side, it's going to have all the different widgets that are included that you could use on the home screen. So you can select and unselect all the widgets that you would like. Maybe the playbook isn't important to you. You don't really need to know what the live streams are. You're not going to watch them. You can uncheck it and it'll go away. Then once you have all the ones you checked, you can move the different squares. Now, you'll notice some are rectangles and some are squares. You can only move the squares and exchange them with other squares. And same thing with rectangles. I couldn't move the goals over here to the right. So that's how you just rearrange them. Just grab it, move it around. And once you have it in the order you like, you can click Apply, and it will make that update. And you can go through it anytime and customize and update the order of those widgets. All right. So once you've done that, let's jump into our settings. So up here in the top right-hand corner where you see your name, there's a drop-down menu. Click on this and let's go to settings. And we're going to walk through settings and getting some of your apps connected for Command. So when you click on settings, it's going to drop you into general settings, which is going to show you all of your connected apps. This is really important because Command is going to leverage other systems to help you run your business. So it can be Facebook, Gmail, DocuSign, as well as Command email. So I want to kind of talk you through each one of these, how to connect it, and the benefit of having it connected. So the first one's DocuSign, which I will actually just hold on a minute. I'll come and I'll speak to that one last. The next you'll see here is Facebook post scheduling. You can connect your Facebook business page to Command, and you can set up Command to run scheduled posts. So if you want to run your business, so every Monday you post a new market stat, every Tuesday is a new baking article, every Wednesday is a picture from a closing, every third, you get the idea that every single day of the week you have a specific piece of content. But you're going to go on vacation. Well, you don't want to be at the beach or wherever one may go on vacation during a pandemic. You may not want to have to worry about what those posts are, making sure that every day at 10:30 a.m. you're on your computer to post that that article or that graphic. You can go ahead and you can set all those items up to be posted organically from within command. So it's great. So you can, before you go on vacation or you go out of town or you go to an event, you can go ahead and set all those pieces of content to post at a specific date and time. And all the followers on your business page will not be the wiser. They won't know that you had scheduled that. Now, I do want to clarify, this has to be a business page. It will not work for your personal Facebook page. You will, when you connect to Facebook, you'll connect your personal account, and then from there, it'll show all of your connected business pages, and you'll select your business page. Below that is Porch, and Porch is an app integration that you can leverage if your clients need to get any estimates for repair work. So maybe you are the buyer's agent and you want to get an idea of how much some of the repairs and replacements will cost after the inspection. You can use Porch for that. Or on the flip side, if you're the listing agent and your client wants to get some work done to the house to really list it at that top price, you can get some ideas of how much those items will cost here from Porch. It's a free service and it should be automatically connected for you. Below that is Google Calendar and Gmail. I highly recommend that you connect both of these apps because it'll allow command to keep track of all of the email touches and calendar invites that you have with those contacts. You don't send email through here or set up calendar invites through command, but it will keep track of it in your contact card. So you'll know, okay, I had this touch with this client 2 weeks ago and we emailed about XYZ. Or maybe before you call them, during your quarterly call plan, before you call them next time, you say, oh, okay, I see where I emailed them a month and a half ago. Let me just double check that email so that way when I call today, I know exactly where we can pick up the conversation. It's really simple to connect, highly recommend it. Below is Twilio, and Twilio is a texting service. So as a part of command, we have smart plans, which are also known as drip campaigns. And you can send text messages as a part of those drip campaigns. Or through command, you can also send mass text messages. So if, let's say, it's like, sports are being played and, a popular team wins, the Super Bowl or the World Series, you can send a text message to all the fans of that team saying, congrats on the big win today, go team. Or if it's Father's Day or Mother's Day or Teacher Appreciation Day, you could send text messages to all those mothers, all those fathers, all those teachers, anyone on any given time. Twilio does cost money. It is 0.0075 cents per text message of 160 characters. So when you create an account, you will have to give them your debit card or credit card information. They will bill you for $20 at once, and they'll put the $20 into a bucket. And then every time you send a text message, it'll just slowly deduct that 0.0075 cents. Once your bucket of money gets below $10, they will then bill you $20 more, and you'll have $30 in your bucket, and they'll continue doing that as long as you have your account. Another thing about Twilio is when you sign up, you'll automatically receive an Austin area code for your number. That's because KWRI is headquartered in Austin. You are unable to use your own personal email because that number is being used by your cell phone provider. You can rent an Atlanta area code number for $1 a month. So I highly recommend that if you're going to use Twilio for sending mass texts or drip campaigns, that you go ahead and you rent that Atlanta number. While yes, it's not going to be your number and it may be kind of confusing for some people that already have your number saved, it's going to be less confusing if you're from Atlanta than if you're showing you as from Austin, Texas. So it's be like, why would I want to work with an agent that's from Austin? He doesn't know anything about Atlanta. Well, I'm actually from Atlanta. So just one less bit of confusion for your contacts. I do a deep dive into Twilio and mass texting, but let me know if you have any questions about that. Continuing with social, we have our Twitter post scheduling. So similar to Facebook, if you're a big Twitter user and you have a big following, you can use that to run your business. So you can connect your account here and you can schedule when posts go live. I'm not a big Twitter user, so I don't have it connected. Below is PieSync. And PieSync is an application that will connect third-party apps into Command. So if you already have a CRM or you have a text platform or you have some kind of database management service or any type of product like that, you could actually more than likely connect that product and that platform into Command. And so you can sync all of those contacts, all of those touches, everything into a single place. So if you're running your business from 3 or 4 different platforms, you can sync all those into one platform. So that way you can see within a single contact all the different touches that you have with that contact. PieSync does cost money, but you do get one free connection. So you can set it up so you can either do a one-time connection where it just downloads everything into Command, or if you're going to continue to use those third-party services, you can have it sync every single day. So as you make any updates and connections and send out emails through your other CRM, all that information will be logged in Command as well. Below that is Office 365. So if you use Office for your email platform instead of Gmail, you can connect that here. And that way, similarly, you won't be sending actual email through Command, but Command will be able to log when you send an email to your contacts. So that way you can just manage the total number of touches. Below that is going to be our marketing automation. So previously when I showed Facebook and Twitter, those were for post scheduling, but oftentimes you're going to want to run an ad, because if you use Post Scheduler, it's only going to go to people that follow your account. But an ad, if you want to run an ad for a new listing or an open house, or try to for lead gen, you want to reach people that aren't connected to you, that don't follow you. And in order to do that, you're going to have to run an ad. Again, here you'll connect your business page, which would be the same login as before, as the Post Scheduler, and then you select the business page. Same thing with Twitter. If you want to run ads on Twitter, you can connect that here. And it just makes it really simple to run ads within Command, because one, they have step-by-step instructions, so it shows you exactly what you need to do. But also you're able to leverage Keller Williams' entire spend on Facebook or Twitter or Google to gain efficiency. So if you were to run a Facebook ad from your own personal Facebook business page, you're going to end up spending more money because you don't have those efficiencies that when an entire company as large as Keller Williams has tons of agents, we can get discounts on the costs and still get premium placements. Last one here is Google AdWords. If you're a big Google AdWords fan, you can set those campaigns up directly through Command. So any leads that you get from Google, Twitter, or Facebook automatically log in and are added to your database. That being said, for Google, there are a lot of limitations within Command. So if you are a heavy Google AdWords user, which it is a great platform, you may actually be better off using the Google AdWords platform, because it'll show you a lot more keywords, options, as well as some great copy recommendations that you won't get from within Command. Below that is going to be our email services. The first one is Command Email. So as a part of Command, we do have an email platform. This is not going to be for your day-to-day correspondence. This is going to be for items like smart plans. So if you're going to put someone on a drip campaign, that would come out of your Command email. If you want to send out an email blast from within Command with an HTML email, you could use Command Email. It will automatically be connected for you, but you can manage that information. So click on Manage, and then you'll be able to update your sender name as well as your reply email address. So it'll just kind of be a generic like abc123@kw.com, but as long as you update your sender name and reply email, it'll look like the email's coming to you, and they can click on reply and it'll go directly to your personal or business email. Below that is MailChimp. MailChimp was our original email provider. However, things have kind of changed, but you can still use MailChimp as a KW agent. You get a free MailChimp account, which includes up to 2,000 contacts and 5,000 emails per month. You do only get one audience in MailChimp with this free account. So if you want to send an email blast 1 week to buyers, you'd have to delete that contact list and then create another one for just sellers. It's not hard. I can show you how to use that. I teach a deep dive into email blasts as well, so we can talk through that. It's a free account, so you can set up your account here, and it'll walk you through the steps of creating that and logging in. And then going back up to the top, I promised I would talk to you about DocuSign. So DocuSign is the preferred e-signature platform used by Keller Williams. It used to be .loop, but this last fall, they kind of transitioned everything over to DocuSign, and now everything for the state of Georgia is up and running. Your DocuSign account is free. If you already have an existing DocuSign account, you cannot use that login for command. You have to create a new an account. Excuse me. You have to create a new DocuSign account from within command. It's really simple. It's like a 4-step process. Let me know if you have any questions on that. You don't have to use DocuSign if you don't want to. You can still use .loop if you want to pay for it, or if you want to use RDocs or Docs Plus from FMLS, you can use that as well. But it's to let you know that it is the preferred e-signature platform for Keller Williams. If there are any apps here that you don't see that you want to connect, again, you can click on Connect More Apps, and this will open up a new browser window that will go to the KW Marketplace, and this is going to have all those additional third-party apps that are integrated or that you can add integrations into your command. So you can just click around here and you can search, define applications, go through different categories over here, and see which ones you want to add. So that is general settings. So going over here on the left-hand side, I'm going to scroll down to command settings, and I'm just going to go through each one of these items step by step. The first is applications, which we're just in. The next, I'm going to go to contacts. So first is going to be contact archive. So once you start adding contacts to your database, there isn't an actual delete button. It's because command doesn't want you just to be able to delete contacts too easily. It's actually a 3-step process where you archive a contact. That archived contact then shows up here in this folder. And then if you want to archive it again, you have to select it and then select delete permanently. And then it'll have another pop-up window that says this will permanently delete this contact. And then you'd click OK. So it just is a safeguard that you can, if for whatever reason, you just accidentally hit the wrong button, it won't delete that contact for you. If you have previously added a contact with an email address and then archived it, and then you try to add a new contact with the same email address, you'll get an error message saying that email address is already in use. Email addresses is the unique identifier for contacts within command. So if you keep getting that error message, check your contact archive because you may have already used that email address in an archived contact. So what you would need to do is you would need to select that contact and either restore or delete permanently, and then that would free up that email address for you to use. If you want to restore, you just click on restore, and it would restore it, and it would be show back up in your contact list. The next is database wipe. So as you are adding contacts and maybe you're doing a mass upload from the CSV, maybe things end up being a mess, or when they sync properly they sync from PySync, maybe they didn't sync properly. You can archive all contacts. Only use this with very, 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 very strong discretion. You can click on archive all contacts, and it'll give you the option to move all of your contacts into archive. From there, you could select delete all archived contacts, and I'll have another pop-up menu that says this will permanently delete all of your archived contacts. That's how you would delete all of them permanently. So it's a 3-step process if you want to archive numerous contacts from the system. The next item is custom tags. And custom tags, there's two different types of custom tags, one for contacts and one for opportunities. First, for contacts, custom tags are used to help organize different groups of your database. So for instance, um, there's a bunch of system tags here that are set up. So agent, talent, allied resource. I'll click down here where it says doing one of 10 of 137 and I'll show 100. I've created a bunch of tags for myself. So former coworkers, former classmates, in-state, monthly newsletter, Coca-Cola. How I like to set up tags on how I know them. What part of the state they or the city they live in? Are they in-state? Are they out of state? Have they unsubscribed from my newsletter? Was it a lead from Realtor.com? Are they family members? Do they live in Smyrna? Are they from HRC when I volunteered for HRC? So you can create as many custom tags as you want. The more tags, the better, I say. You can never have too many tags because when you start setting up your drip campaigns or you want to start sending out mass text messages, if you have your database organized using custom tags, it's going to be really simple for you to get that right group of people. You may only have 3 or 4 people or 3 or 4 contacts associated with a custom tag. That's fine. It's still an effective use of the tag because it lets you know that, hey, these 3 people are really important because of this one single reason. And those may be 3 people that you end up closing deals with. To create a new custom tag, you click on the Create button up here in the top right-hand corner. And then you're going to start typing in new custom tag. If you want to select a color for that tag, you can just click on any of these icons with the colors and then click Create. There is another way that you can add custom tags. So let's say you're manually adding a new contact and you're like, oh, this person I know from middle school. You may want to create a middle school tag. You can create that custom tag right in the contact add page. And we'll walk through that in a few moments when we start adding contacts. The other custom tags are for opportunities. They are similar functionality, but they are 2 separate groups of tags. Opportunity tags are going to be used to help organize all of your opportunities. So opportunities are going to be potential closing. So anytime you meet someone that's interested in real estate or you kind of want to start to move them into the sales funnel, that becomes an opportunity. And then you can organize these opportunities based on the part of town that they're looking in or closing in, how you know them, price points, maybe time of year. So then as they're going to become really beneficial at the end of the year, you can start to slice and dice all of your closings and see, maybe what part of town did you do most of your business in? Where did most of your opportunities come from? Sphere or leads or XYZ. What price point did you most commonly close in? And then you can start to use that information to set your 2021 goals. So maybe you say, hey, this year I closed a lot in the 400 to 500 range. I really want to bump that up to 700. And I did a lot of closings in the West End. And this year, I want to focus on Decatur. It's a little bit closer to home. I don't want to sit in as much traffic. So it can kind of help you set those goals for your business. Again, you can create these custom tags directly in an opportunity, or you can click on Create New Tag. Below custom tags are custom fields. And custom fields are different than custom tags. So custom tags are used to help organize and differentiate different groups of your database. Custom fields are going to be places of information or pieces of information that you are going to want to know about large groups of people. So I added a custom field for a wedding anniversary. So to me, I think it would be helpful if I can add their wedding anniversary. It's just one more piece of information that I can gather about my database and maybe one more potential touch that I can have with them. I've also added favorite sports teams. So I can add in if they're big Atlanta Braves fans or Philadelphia Eagles fans or anything, I can add that into my database. Unlike custom tags, you have to create the custom field here in the settings portion of Command. So to do that, click on Create New Custom Tag. So give it a name, new custom field, and then field type. So you can have a text field where you could manually type in whatever that information is, text area, a drop-down menu. So if you want to have numerous different options, you could select that from the drop-down. If you want to add a date, so whether it's wedding anniversary or child's birth, you could add the date functionality. A checkbox, so if you want to give it kind of an either or maybe have a couple different options, and you can select which one applies. A number or URL, so if you want to add maybe business website or anything like that, you could add that URL. Percentage and currency. So I'll just select text field, and then there's this icon here that says, or checkbox, make default custom field. I would recommend that you make this custom field a default custom field, because when you are adding information to that contact, it'll automatically show up as a field on the contact card. And if you don't, then you're going to have to manually select it and add it from a drop-down menu to each contact. And knowing that these custom fields are there to help us get as much information about a lot of people, it'd be a lot easier for you just to create a custom field here and make a default custom field. Moving on to the next item is opportunity settings. So we have our design template. This is still a work in progress, so we'll kind of leave it as is. The next is opportunity archive. So as you go through the sales funnel and you have a closing, you can archive that. Or let's say you have a lost opportunity, it's archived. The reason opportunities are not deleted is because we store a ton of information, a lot of documents, contracts, amendments, closing statements, all within Command. By archiving it, I can go back and check that file at any time. So if in 3 years, a client calls me and says, hey, I still need that closing statement, would you mind sending it to me? I don't have to go rummaging through my computer trying to find my old DocuSign room. I can just come to Opportunities Archive, I can search for it, and I can find it there. So it's just another safeguard to make sure that you can keep all of those documents in Opportunities and use this as a storage warehouse. The next is agent sites. So my neighborhoods. So if you only work in select parts of town, you can add your neighborhoods here. It only allows you to add 10 neighborhoods. So I haven't added it because I like to work the entire metro Atlanta area. But if you only work in Decatur, Virginia Highlands, Avondale Estates, any of those, or let's say you only work Roswell, Alpharetta, East Cobb, Cumming, you could add all of those neighborhoods and parts of town here. And there's just a little bit more information that when someone is on your profile or searching for you, that they'll know, okay, Nick is the specialist in these parts of town. Below that is landing page. So with every contact that you add their address to, it automatically assign them a neighborhood. And then they'll have their own URL that client could then search at any time to get the most updated information about that neighborhood. This is what it'll look like. So you see a map here with all the listings. You can just scroll through, and then if they're interested, they can send you a note. You have some changes up here that you can make. So there's different themes. So you could select the red theme, the blue theme, or the dark theme. I personally prefer the dark theme. So then just click save, and it's good to go. The next item is import logs, and then my logs. As you start to add contacts, you can use a CSV to import, I think, up to 5,000 contacts at one time. So if you're going to start talking about adding 100 plus contacts, using the CSV may be your best bet. This is just going to show you a log of all the contacts of all the times that you uploaded contacts, and then you can download the file. So if for whatever reason something gets wonky, contacts are missing, you could download that file and start to troubleshoot where the issue was. All right. The next item is connect settings and marketing profile. Your marketing profile is very important because from the marketing profile, Command is going to drag in a lot of this information into other aspects of Command. So when you're building your agent website or landing pages or creating design materials, the system will be able to pull in this information and use it there. So that way you don't have to type it in every single time. I'm going to spend a minute with you kind of walking through what each one of the items is, as well as maybe uploading some of them or updating some of them with you. But before we do that, I want, over here on the right-hand side, there's this toggle that says use my information to brand my agent site. Make sure that toggle is turned on and is green. That is going to give the system permission to pull in your images, your text, your contact information into your agent site. If you don't, you're going to have to manually input that information. All right, so scrolling down, the first items here is my photo and my team logo. You'll see the recommended size is 360 by 360 pixels. The reason it's that recommended square size is because all these photos will render in a circle throughout Command and your agent website. And by having them in this square image, it is able to then properly render those so it fits perfectly within the circle. You can make upload an image and kind of crop it to 360 by 360, or you can go ahead and create your own 360 by 360 image, either in Canva or Designs. And I'm happy to show you how to do that. Scrolling down, my details. So you'll want to fill this information in and add any missing information. So name, first name, last name, license number, team name, your job title, credentials, a quick bio. So for your bio here, you may already have one. You can add a pretty long bio here if you want. This is just a quick sentence that I wrote one day. Then we'll add your phone numbers, your mobile phone, your office phone, fax number. I can add that. So I'm just going to add the office fax, 531-5708. Continuing to scroll down. So our market center information. So we have our market center logo. Again, this is recommended to be a 360 by 360 image, just so that way it always renders properly on all of the marketing materials and website. Then to the right, we have our brokerage name. So we get Atlanta, Sandy Springs. You could have this as Keller Williams First Atlanta. Market center phone number, our address, city, state, and then our market center and license number. The reason it's important to have all this information here is because for GREC compliance issues, anytime that you have a website or a piece of marketing that has a piece of a property on it, you have to have your brokerage name and phone number on it as well. And by having this information in the marketing profile, the system will be able to pull it out and make sure that information is included in all of those websites so you're GREC compliant. Sometimes fines can cost up to $10,000 if you are not compliant. So it's just better to have all the information in there to double check and make sure that there are no issues. Legal footer. So in the state of Georgia, we're not required by GREC or law to have a specific compliant footer text. So I just put my name, realtor with Keller Williams First Atlanta. Below that is legal footer links. Again, we're not required in the state of Georgia to link to anything, but in some states it is required that you link to fair housing information, the real estate commission information, and anything else like that. And then below that is legal footer images. So here, if you wanted to add a small image of the realtor logo, equal housing opportunity logo, or anything like that, you could add that here. Below that is our social network sites. So you could post in your Facebook business page here, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. When you add those links here, anytime that there is an opportunity to have a social media link on any marketing material, the system will pull in these links from here. Now, I don't use Twitter and I don't have my own YouTube. So the nice thing is, because these fields are empty, Command does not pull in links for those two items. So you never have to worry about Twitter showing up and then not clicking through to anything. Below that is going to be our Facebook pixel and Google Analytics ID. So if you are really big in tracking and running Facebook ads or Google ads, you may want to add that information here, but this is really going to be kind of a Facebook or Google 3.0 type level of usage. But if you have any questions on that, let me know. And then finally, it's going to have your branded KW link. Every agent within KW has its own branded mobile application that you can give. You could give this link to contacts, and they can download the link, and they'll be associated with you, and you'll be able to see all their activity. So this is that URL there. So once you've gone through and you've made all of your changes, click on Save. And now my marketing profile is complete. Below marketing profile are global settings and Command MC settings. Again, those are both on my command because I'm a part of the office staff, so we're not going to walk through those. So I'm going to go back to the home page. So click on Home. The first thing I want to talk through with you today, or the next thing rather, is contacts. As we mentioned earlier, our database and having a healthy database is going to be core for our business. So I want to make sure that you know how to add your contacts in here, how to utilize the contact applet, because there is a lot of functionality and a lot of really cool things in here. So there's a couple ways, well, 2 ways that you can add contacts. The first one is up here in the top right-hand corner. You can click Add Contact, and we can manually add that contact. So to do that, I'll just start typing in the information. So new contact, and then you want to fill in their email address. So new contact@gmail.com. And now remember, you can only use an email address one time for a contact in command. If you can't use the same email address twice. Phone number, type in their phone number. Owner, so here it's going to default to me, but if you're on a team, you will be able to do the drop down between yourself and the team lead, Rainmaker. If this is a lead, so someone that you don't know, don't have a relationship with, you can mark it as a lead, or you cannot, and you can add a sales pipeline. So if you want to create an opportunity from within this contact card, you can do that as well. Then below here, we have tags. So these are going to show all the tags that I created, so as well as the ones from the system. So I have a UGA tag, former coworker tag. I'm going to spell that. Former coworker. And then as I was mentioning to you earlier, you can create a new custom tag by just typing in your new custom tag, and it'll give me the option to say, click create custom tag. So I just click on create. I can select a color and then click add. And now I have a new custom tag, and it was that simple. And I can add new custom tag to any other contact that I have in command. Scrolling down, we can add more information. So there's all these different drop-down menus. So you can add another email and phone number if you want. You can add their address. So I recommend that you add their address. So I'm just going to type in my address here. And it'll auto-populate, and then you can select it. And then I always recommend selecting same as mailing address, because there may be a time that you want to print mailing address note cards from command. And this is how you would do it. You could add their Facebook profile here. So I can just type in my Facebook. I can add multiple social media profiles. So I can select, Instagram, and then type in my Instagram name. Then we have about. So if their legal name is different, I want to type in a description about them, maybe how we know them, maybe anything about their family that would be worthwhile remembering. Below that, we have birthday. So you can just, type in their birthday. And then home anniversary. The reason it's important to have their birthday and home anniversary is because there are 2 smart plans in command that you can leverage as a part of having these pieces of information on the contact card. So I highly recommend that you add those in there. Also, it's just great information to know. So that way you can, to give them a call on March 14th, to wish this contact a happy birthday. But also, whether or not they're a past client, having their home anniversary will help determine, maybe we need to start setting up some more coffee dates or talking with them, knowing that most people move every 5 to 7 years. If you have their home anniversary date in there, You can say, hey, I just noticed you've been in your house for 5 to 7 years. I'd love to give you a market update on your neighborhood. Would you be interested in that? Perfect. Below that is relationships. So if you have another contact in the system, you can just start typing in that contact and it will show all the contacts, and you could click add. Or let's say I want to add a new contact, so new spouse. I don't have a spouse, so it'll say no options, and I can click add, and it'll give me the opportunity to write in to add them as a new spouse. You can add multiple relationships here, so you can father, mother, son, daughter, parent, sibling, so lots of relationships. All right. And then below that is the company name. So if you know where they work, so you just type it in. If it's not in the system, again, it will allow you to manually add it right here. Sales pipeline. So if you want to add them to your sales pipeline, you can also add lead source. And there's going to be a bunch of prefabricated lead sources here. But you can also make your own as well. And there's kind of a little workaround for that. And then custom. So these are the custom fields that I was mentioning to you earlier. So I made sure that they were default custom fields, so they show up every single time. So I can, select wedding anniversary, 2015, favorite sports teams, Atlanta Braves. And now I can click create. So I come over to new contact. This is how it looks. So it has a health score of 96%. That means that we have a fair amount of information here because phone number, email address, and property address and custom tags all equal 20%. So that gets us up to 80, and then every additional piece of information counts as 4%. So by adding in the address, it automatically assigned Forest Hills to my neighborhood. Now, let's say you've been talking with this client and okay, they live in Forest Hills, but they actually are looking to move to Brookhaven. You can click add neighborhood and I can type in Brookhaven. And then select that. And it's going to add Brookhaven to their map. So I'll now know that they're also subscribed to Brookhaven. I mentioned earlier that each client has their own URL. You can copy that URL here and you can email that to them, or I can just show you a quick preview. And this is what this little site looks like with all of the most updated activity for the neighborhood. So it's going to show me all of the active listings in Brookhaven. And then I can also click Forest Hills. That's going to show me all the listings in Forest Hills. And earlier we had selected the dark color. You can always change it if you want to by going back into your settings. Scrolling down, you can see here's the address. Here I could click on these two social media icons and open up their social media pages. Birthday, see, I added new spouse, which I guess I misspelled spouse, but it actually creates a new contact within command, so I could go in there and fill out new spouse's information. And then wedding anniversary and favorite sports teams, you see how they render there. So it's just additional information that I can learn about those contacts. Any questions on adding contacts to command? All right, so going back to contacts, I'm going to show you how you can add a ton of contacts at one time. So you can import a CSV into command. And a CSV is a comma separated values document, and it mostly uses Excel. But basically what that means is that each column of the document are separated by a comma. The reason that's important is because you are unable to, or not allowed to add any commas to your document, which can get kind of tricky because sometimes based on which platform you're using or where your database is coming from, there may be commas in the address, but we can get rid of that. So to download that CSV, come up here to the top right-hand corner and click on import. And then there's a big blue letters that says download the pre-made CSV. download that CSV, and that'll have all of the columns set up for you. And all you need to do is start adding the information in the rows below, in the corresponding columns. And everything's set up in a very specific order. So that way, when you upload it, the system knows exactly what each piece of information is and where to have that information go on the contact card. I believe you can upload up to 5,000 contacts at one time. It does take a while, so the more contacts you have, it may take up to a day for those contacts to appear, to have been scrubbed and approved to be added to your database. So once you have added all your contacts, here is our home screen. So we can customize any of these columns, but basically here just kind of gives us a quick overview of that contact. You can look at it in the list view, or you can also click on the square view, and this will give you a little bit wider of a view, so it's more easy to see some of this information. I prefer the list view. You can also customize the columns. So very similar to what we did on the home screen, there's a list of all the available columns here on the left-hand side, and you can click all the ones that you would like, and then you can reorganize them on the right-hand side. So you're just going to put them in whatever order you would like. And it's that simple. And then just click apply, and it will make that update there. In addition to formatting the columns, in the top right-hand corner where it says showing 1 through 10, you can select this and show 50 contacts. So that way you can just start to see more contacts, and it's easier to read through them. Because especially if you have a ton of contacts, you don't want to be searching by groups of 10. So let's say you have a ton of contacts in here, but you don't want to see all of them every single time that you log in. You can add filters. So you can come up here and you can filter by leads only. So if you only want to look at the contacts that are leads. Another way that you can sort is by custom tags. So all those custom tags are help you divide your database into relevant segments. So I could search for everyone that's in my Smyrna database and click apply. And it is going to show all 46 contacts that I have in my database that are in the Smyrna custom tag. Super easy. Now, let's say I wanted to, every single time that I log on to command, I only want to look at people that are in Smyrna. I want this to be my default view. I can click on Smart View, All Contacts, and click Create Smart View. And then I could come over here and then select Smyrna. And I can set this as a default view. Oh, misspelled Smyrna. I can set this as a default view. So that way, when I log into command, it'll save and only show the Smyrna contacts. So it's saving. Perfect. And now when I come up here, I can see Smart View Smyrna, and that lets me know that I'm only looking at the contacts that are filtered with Smyrna. And you can add additional filters. One of the great things I really like is that, let me get rid of Smyrna. Let's say you are running a lead campaign and you want to manage your leads. Let's say your campaign started last week. I could select leads only, and they've been created within the last 7 days. So I can select that and then click apply. Now I don't have any leads in my database, so nothing's going to show up, but it's just another way that you can help sort your database. You can create multiple smart views. So if you want to have one for Smyrna, if you want to have one based on campaigns, no neighborhoods, who should I call? Those are all there, but you can create as many as you want. So I'm going to click on all contacts, and then I'm going to click on manage smart views. And then because I want to come over here and I want to delete the Smyrna smart view. Perfect. So now I have all of my contacts showing up. One really cool feature about Command, one of the many, is that you can actually export all of your contacts. One of the reasons Gary Keller wanted to make Command is so that way us as agents, we can own our database. We can own all of these contacts. Gary Keller does not want your contacts. So if for whatever reason you leave Keller Williams or you retire from real estate, you can come up here to the top right-hand corner and we see these 3 dots. Click on that. And then you can click on the Export All Contacts button. And that is going to create a list, an Excel document of all of your contacts that you have in Command. Now, I just clicked that just as an example, and then I got a Kelly notification on my phone that says your full contacts export is complete. So if I refresh Command, I have a notification up here at the bell, and it says your full contacts export is complete, and you tap to download. So if I wanted to download a list of all my contacts, they'd be right there. It's that simple for you to get your contacts out of Command. Maybe you need to print mailing labels. You can export mailing labels, export mailing labels as PDF. So there's just a lot of great tools that you can use and makes it really simple. Also within contacts, you can do bulk items. So let's say I select 50 contacts, or let's just say I select 1 contact, doesn't matter how many. This drop-down menu will appear here that says select bulk action. And I can do, for each one of the selected contacts, I can do a single action to add all of them. So I can add a note, I can archive them, I can send a bulk SMS. So as I mentioned earlier with Twilio, we can send out bulk SMSs to multiple people at one time. You can add bulk tags. So if I wanted to add a tag to all 3 of these individuals, I could just come over here, select it. I could just type it in as well. I can do that. I can also add to an email list. I can share those contacts. I can mark them as leads, unmark as leads, add to a smart plan. So smart plans are going to be our drip campaigns, and we talk through that in TCO2. And then we can export these contacts and export mailing labels. So there's a lot that you can do. So, and everything you can do here, you can do up to 50 people at one time. Now I couldn't select all 1394 of my contacts, but 50 at a time isn't too bad. It's better than nothing. All right. So those are all the bulk actions that you can do from within the contacts home screen. Now I want to walk you through the actual contact card really quickly. So I'm going to come to my own so I can show you an example. So we walk through most of the information over here on the left-hand side, our name, all the tags, phone number, email, the neighborhoods, how to add a neighborhood, all of this. But what's really great and really cool about Command is that over here on the right-hand side is we have our timeline. When I talked to you earlier about adding Google, Google Calendar, Gmail, Twilio, all of that data and all of those touches will show up here on the right-hand side. So I can see, and I'm talking even the search app, when they download your mobile app, all of their search criteria shows up here on the right-hand side. So it's just great that you can keep track and then say, okay, perfect. On July 20th, here is a text message or a note about a text message that I sent, text messages that were sent and received, a phone call, unsubscribed from Brookhaven. So I can just get an idea of everything they're doing. So if I log on, I'm like, okay, I'm working with Nick, and I just want to check his contact card, I can look and see, oh, he was looking at Sheridan Point in Atlanta, and then Smyrna, and then Roswell. And those are like 3 really different parts of town. So I may call Nick and say, hey, how's it going? I saw you were using the app, and you were looking up in Roswell. I thought we were looking more in town. Did something change, something I don't know about? Or say, hey, I saw that you favorited this house on the app. Let's go schedule a showing. And it just, you look so competent and customer service first that you want to, you know exactly what they're doing without being creepy. To the right of the timeline, it kind of breaks each one of the different tasks down. So you can click on opportunities and it will list all the opportunities that they are part of. So if they're either a buyer or a seller, and you can create the opportunity directly from the contact card. To the right of that is smart plans. And as I mentioned earlier, smart plans are the drip campaigns. From the contact card, you can add to smart plan and you can select any of the active smart plans that you would like to add them to. To the right of that is tasks. So when I was talking to you on the home screen about tasks, I could come here and I can create a new task. I can click on add task and I can, new task for training. I can, not all day, I'll set this to be, let's do tomorrow at 12 noon, task description, creating new task as a part of training. I can add a hyperlink. I have my due date, so tomorrow, and I can create task. And now it'll show up right here, but it's also going to show up on my home page. And I'll show you that I'm on the command homepage. So that way, when I log into command tomorrow, I know exactly what I need to do. Here's my new task for training. To the right of that is notes. And this is where you can just leave notes. So if you have a conversation with a contact, here I have added a note that really likes pizza. Favorite pizza place is Antico. That came from a conversation. I mean, this is just me, so it's all example from training. But if I wanted to add a note, new note, summer vacation in Bahamas. I wish going to the Bahamas with family last week of August. So I can add that note, click save. So then before I go to reach out to Nick next time for my quarterly call plan and my 36 touches, I know, hey, I saw that I remember you were saying you're going to the Bahamas for a vacation. How was that? And you're keeping track of that relationship. And that contact is going to be like, wow, Nick really cares about me because he remembered that I was going on a vacation to the Bahamas and we talked 2 months ago. So again, it's just a great way that you can help just keep track of some little things that you learn about your contacts. To the right of that is saved searches. And this is going to be the searches that your contacts make either on your mobile app or if they log in on your website. The benefit here is you can see everything they're searching for, and you can actually create a saved search for them as well. So it's really easy. You can edit all of them. For whatever reason, it's not letting me click on them right now, but it's just another way that you can see what your clients are doing on the mobile app so you can provide relevant, necessary information for them. In the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see this plus sign. You can click on this as if you want to add a note or add activity. So if you had any type of interaction with your contact that was not automatically added to your timeline, you can select that. So if you had a meeting, a call, text, or a quick note. So let's say we had a meeting, met at Starbucks to discuss plans to buy in 1 month. Click save, come back to my timeline. Here you can see I logged that interaction, met at Starbucks to discuss plans to buy in 1 month. You can also add a note, which I talked through earlier over here, adding notes, as well as add a calendar event. So if I click on add calendar event, it is going to open up my Google Calendar and I'll be able to set that appointment here and it will automatically add that contact's email address as the guest. So again, just something really simple that you can leverage to make your business more efficient. Any questions about contacts? All right. So the next thing we're going to talk through are tasks. So I do not want to share my feedback right now. Tasks, as I mentioned before, are going to be those items that you need to take care of for that day or that week. And Command is going to remind you. So when you log in, it's super simple and straightforward. So it's going to default to show my tasks for today. You can edit that to show my tasks for the next 7 days. And then here's that task that I created, the new task for training. I can come over here to the right-hand side and I can click snooze. And this can snooze for, up to however many days I'd like. So I can snooze it for 2 days, and that'll be make it due on July 29th, and then click snooze. I can also delete it. I can archive it. I can go back and I can look at for past due tasks. I can look for the next 30 days, past 7 days, past 30 days, all time. And I can even set a custom range if I want to look from, let's say, all my tasks from June 1st to July 27th. Click done. Perfect. There we go. I can also look at my completed tasks. So again, today, past due, past 7 days, past 30 days. And then I can look at archive. So archive tasks are going to be tasks that are no longer necessary, no longer needed for a multitude of reasons. You don't necessarily have to delete it, but you can just archive it. To the right of contact tasks, we're going to have opportunity tasks. And again, we'll talk more about these in TCO3, but as a part of the sales funnel, as they move through the sales funnel, there's going to be different things that are required of us to help manage and steer that relationship. Opportunity tasks is going to be a way that the system will automatically remind you of the things that you need to do for that relationship based on where they are in the sales funnel. Yeah, same setup for show tasks that are due for today, past due, past 30 days, next 30 days. Perfect. So tasks are really going to help you stay organized on all the activities that you have to do for that contact, as well as where they are in the sales funnel. When I come back to my home screen and I select tasks, it should show me, here's my, I guess it's only going to show me my task for today, and I snoozed that task so it's not due until the 29th. But it would show up right here, contact tasks, my opportunity tasks, they're all right there in the home screen. So we've walked through a ton of information this morning. We're kind of nearing the end of our training. So I wanted to stop and see, what questions do you have? What can I show you again? What can I clarify for you this morning? You can chat, or you can unmute yourself. Either or is fine. But let me know, because I want to make sure that you walk away from this training feeling a lot more confident and comfortable using Command for your business.
Well, good morning, Nick. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Wonderful. I had some problems earlier when I was trying to sign in. I was like, I can't hear nothing, but it was a user error. My volume button was down. Because I walked back out and came back in. I said, I still can't hear it. And I was like, something's wrong. But I found out the problem is user error.
Well, I'm glad you were able to hear. Otherwise, I would have just been talking to myself for an hour and a half.
Nah, I was listening. I guess where my issue that I wanted to know with Command, is there a way to input your contacts without having to do one by one?
Yes. So when you are in the contacts applet, so over here on the left-hand side, we'll go to contacts.
Okay.
And then in the top right-hand corner, there's this import button.
Okay.
So click on that, and then you can download the pre-made CSV.
Okay.
And what this will do is this will download a formatted CSV that you can then copy paste all of your contacts information into the respective columns. So that's one way that you can do it. And then you would save that and you can upload it.
Okay.
That's probably gonna be the most simple way to upload a large volume of contacts. The other is, if you have another system or another CRM, you can use PySync to connect that to Command, and you can download all of those contacts directly into Command.
Gotcha. Okay.
And as you're working through setting up and adding your contacts, let me know. We could do that together. If you want to walk through working through the CSV together, or through setting up PySync.
Okay. I guess what my problem is right now is that in the when you I got my niece was helping me, and we went through, I guess, opportunities,
Yeah.
and we added one for the buyer and one for the lister because it's the same person. They're selling their home and moving to another home.
Yep.
And I was playing around with it, but how do you change the amount? Because we put in like amounts in to create the opportunity. But how
Yeah.
do you edit it?
So we'll spend a lot more time in TCO3 in that, but I'm happy to show you now. So we'll just go to
Okay,
opportunities, and then I'll go to all opportunities. And I prefer to go to all opportunities because it just makes it easier to read. So
gotcha.
on the opportunity name, and this is going to put you in the details tab. And then anywhere
Okay,
you see a pencil
okay,
command, you can click on that and edit. So let me click on that. So I'll click on the pencil right here, and I can scroll down, estimated list price. I can change that here.
I don't think mine looked like yours though.
It should.
Um, I guess maybe we didn't get this far because, like, if you go back for me, um, okay,
So here,
ah,
when you
that's the page that I'm stuck at, like right there. Okay, this is what I'm seeing, and I guess I don't know where to go from here.
so did you actually create the opportunity yet?
We did this part here, and we put in the amount and everything, like for the potential income.
Yeah.
I can see that on the side.
So what you'll need to do is click on all opportunities,
Okay.
and that'll just show a list format of your opportunities, so it's a little bit easier to
Okay.
find versus having to find them in the sales funnel.
Got you. Okay. Maybe that's what I didn't do.
Yeah. And then just click into your opportunity. And then anytime you see a pencil icon in command,
Right.
it lets you know that you can make an edit to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can edit all those details um, to the listing amount, sales amount, anything, because command makes it so easy to edit because a lot of those details will change throughout a transaction,
Got
especially
you.
when you're working with buyers. So,
Right.
because yeah, you may go under contract on a property and then a week later you terminate and then you're under contract on a new property for a little bit more. You need to be able to go through and update all that information.
Right. Okay. I think I see where my problem was.
And just so you know, you can, if you and your niece are going through and you're having trouble, you can always give me a call or a text message, and I'm happy to jump on the phone and be like, oh yeah, just click here, there, because
Okay.
I'd rather you call me and we'll take 3 minutes to talk through it versus
Right.
you guys trying to figure it out and spending an hour of your time. Because to be honest with you, I'd rather spend that 3 minutes with you so then you can go spend that 57 minutes lead generating or going on an appointment and building your business.
Right. And I appreciate that. I think that was like my main thing. I was like, well, how do you edit this? But I'm still playing around with it, just to see. So, oh, question for you. When
Yep.
is your next training on DocuSign? That's on Friday
Yeah.
or
So
what day?
every Friday morning at 10 a.m.
Okay. I'll be in that one because I have some questions about how you I have my stuff in the room, but I put it in the wrong room and I need to move it. I'm like,
So, so what I would recommend then, Shay, is I do office hours, DocuSign office
okay.
hours every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 2 to 3.
Okay.
So that would be a great question for office hours, and then we can
Okay.
troubleshoot trying to move those documents to a different room. Um,
Okay.
or you can always give me a call and we can set up some one-on-one time as well.
All right. That'll work.
All right.
That would definitely work.
Any other
But
questions?
I've been watching what you were doing, and I just need to play with it and see, because I didn't know that it did so many things, like how you were talking about. You could be on vacation somewhere, and you could still have your stuff running
Yeah.
while you're on vacation.
Yeah. Command, like I don't want to use the word overwhelming because that has a negative connotation, but there's just so many things that command does that unless you go through kind of, one of these take command trainings or go through a lot of the Keller Williams University um, guides, you would never know
Right.
existed because Command at its core is all about streamlining, simplifying your business. So,
Gotcha.
and that's, having those types of ideas about post scheduling came from agents. So as you're playing around with it, that's why I'm saying it's important that you submit your ideas so labs know, hey, Shay has this great idea because she has this whole other experience in her professional career, that this item could really improve how we work with Command and how it can help tons of agents' business.
Right. Well, it's definitely very interesting. There's a lot of information in there that, you can play with.
Yep.
Um, so I'm kind of getting a grasp now of how you use it. And like you say, it's a wealth of information. So it's like, okay, I'm trying to streamline things to what I need now
Yeah.
and get that down and then branch off from there.
Yeah. And some of the best advice I can give you is just click around, play with it. You're not going to break anything.
Okay.
And yeah, you're not going to break anything. And they've set things up, so you can't just delete information. Everything is to be archived, and then is 3-step process. So just start clicking buttons and see what things
Okay.
do. Because anything, if you accidentally delete it, you can give me a call and we'll be able to unarchive it or fix it. Um,
Okay.
but that's how you're going to learn and figure things out. So just play around and have fun with it.
Well, that was kind of like my main thing. I was like, I don't, you'd be scared to push certain things. Like, oh my God, I don't want to delete nothing.
You're
But I'd be like trying to play with it, but I don't want to break it. But like you said, it's not breakable. So you can play, just push buttons and see.
Yeah, push the buttons. And here's the thing: if you do break it, that's good to know. And then you can submit a support ticket and say, "Hey, labs, I just clicked on this, and now all of a sudden nothing works in Command. You need to fix it." Because if you break it and you're having that issue, I bet 10,000 other agents are having that same issue. So
Gotcha.
that means that we need to let them know that something's not working right.
Okay. Well, that works for me.
Perfect. Well, Shay, thank you so much for joining. Please do not hesitate to reach out as you're playing around with Command or DocuSign. Let me know how I can help you.
All right. I will do. And thank you so much.
Thanks, Shay. Have a great one.
You too. Bye bye.